Hi stampers and crafters. Today I'm going to show you a different option for your paper pumpkin welcome kit. It's this cute little box with treats inside. To make this little box, you'll need some additional supplies in addition to your welcome kit. So the first thing we want to do is get our box base started. Okay, so take your gray piece, that's your card base, all right, and place it at 4 3/4. You're going to score it. Now make sure that you're using the scoring blade and not your cutting blade. The cutting blade is the dark gray and the scoring blade is the light gray or tan. Okay, so 4 3/4, score it. Then move it over to 3 3/4 and score it. And you can see that we've got 3 score lines. The middle one is the original one for the card base. Okay, so we want to ignore that one when we're making our box. Now you need to hold the paper this way and score it at 1 inch. Okay, and I'm using this side to line it up this time. And then you'll also want to score the other side at 1 inch as well. Now we'll set that aside for now, and while we have our trimmer out, we'll trim up this piece. Okay, this is the layer for your card, but we're going to make it a layer for our box. So what we need to do is cut it at 3 3/4, and I like to have the darker yellow at the top. Make sure to use your cutting blade this time. This is the dark one. And then turn it around and cut it at 3 1/2. Then you end up with a piece just like this. So let's get our trimmer put away, and we can concentrate on working on our box. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is make sure we use our bone folder and fold and crease all the edges. Okay, so we want to make sure though that we ignore the middle crease. Okay, so just the ones that we actually scored and not the score that came with the card base. So now what you do is get your scissors and you're going to snip these little squares just up to the score line, and then you'll take a little snip from the inside of that part, and that helps to make your box a little bit fold a little bit better. Okay, so do this side and then turn around and do this side. Okay, so here's your box. Okay, remember we're ignoring this score line. Okay, so now we need to add some sticky strip. So you want to add sticky strip, and this is the red tape. You want to add it here, here, and then choose which side is going to be your front, and you're going to add it along those edges. So I've already done that. Here's what it looks like, okay, so with your sticky strip. Now we're going to set that aside and we're going to start our stamping and assembling our front. So I have my piece cut and we're going to start our stamping, but you'll notice on this box that the Hey There Friend is much darker than my little splotches. I'm going to use a technique called stamping off. That involves You know, ink up your stamp with your little ink pad that came with your kit. Okay, and then what you'll do is just stamp off on your pad and then stamp some little ink dots. And then I didn't re-ink it, I just kept stamping randomly little splotches. Okay, and that's what gets you the faded look by only using one ink pad. Okay, so now I'm going to take our adhesive die cuts that come in the kit. I'm going to take this little banner. I'm just going to cut it down. And I just eyeballed it about where I wanted it. Okay, just snip that off. Make sure to save this piece. We're going to use it in a minute. And then adhere that over here to the side. I'll take this another die cut, this little starburst. I'm going to add that on here next to this banner. I'm covering up a little bit of my dots. That's okay. Then I'm going to take this other die cut piece, these little scallops, and add these here to the bottom. So far we're using everything in the kit, but I want to add a little bit of bling to my scallops, and this is where the paper piercer comes into play. Okay, so I just take the little paper piercer, lift up on a rhinestone, and set it down on my scallops. Makes it very easy to place them and very easy to pick up, and they don't go skittering everywhere when you're trying to adhere them. Alright, so we've got some bling now. Now what we're going to do, remember I said to save this little piece, we're just going to punch this little die cut so we get a little tiny circle. And we're going to add that to our button that came in our kit. Okay, so I'm going to add that here to the front. And I like the little scallopy things. It gives a little more texture. And then I'm going to take a glue dot, add that to my button. And then I'm going to add that right here in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is take my Hey There Friend. I'm going to ink that up. And then we will stamp that here in the middle. And there our front is done. So let's go back to our card base and adhere this to the card, to the box base. Okay, so we want to adhere it to the side that has the sticky strip, so make sure you've got your sticky strip here. We're going to add it here. So add a little bit of snail. And I like to put it on the base first because I've got a lot of embellishments on here. And just center that there. Now we'll take the sticky strip off. Now the hint to the sticky strip is to use your paper piercer to peel off the little red pieces. They come off very easily. They also like to stick to everything, so make sure you have a little spot that you can add these to. Okay, so now we got the sticky strip off. What we're going to do is actually hide the tabs between the two layers. Okay, so that's why this is the back. It's going to go up first, and then you're going to put your tab down. Okay, we'll do that on the other side as well. Now, the reason why the sticky's on the front tabs is because I like to have a nice folded edge for my front. Okay, so now you just lay those over top. And there you have the box. Okay, you have a nice clean inside because the tabs are hidden between the two layers. Okay, so let's put some treats. I filled up my treat bag. I put 5 of these little Hershey's. We're going to tie it. And what I like to do is make sure that it all fits and add it to my box. So sometimes I gotta fold a little bit. Make sure all those chocolates fit in. Okay, so now we can scrunch that up and tie our ribbon around it. So this is just a regular bow using the two-tone basic gray ribbon from the spring catalog. Just make a little bow. And you can keep adjusting it until it looks really good. And then what I like to do is snip the edges so I have a nice little finished edge. So fold your ribbon in half, go from the fold to the edge and cut it, and you get this nice little edge. Okay, so here's our finished product. Okay, with our edges clipped, got our candy in there, and it's ready to give to a friend.